Good morning everyone. Today I will explain the four main types of research design used in early childhood education. First, we have the describe design. This design aims to describe a particular situation or phenomenon without changing or controlling any variables. It helps a researcher understand what is happening in a natural setting. For example, study at mind describe what type of play activities are more preferred by preschool children. This design is about what is happening, not why it's happening. Next is the experiment design. This type of research involves changing a variable to see how it affects another variable. It usually have two groups, the control group and the experimental group. For instance, a research might test whether using educational game and improve children's reading skill and compare to the traditional teaching method. This design helps to find cause and effect relationship.
The third type is the correlational design. It looks at the relationship between two or more variables, but the researcher does not manipulate anything. It helps to show whether variables move together positively or negatively, but it cannot tell which one caused the other. For example, a study might look at the relationship between screen time and attention span among preschoolers. Last one, we have the case study design. This design focuses deeply on one individual, a group, or situation over a certain period. It's helped researchers gain a detailed understanding and insight into real life. It's helped researchers gain detailed understanding and insight into real life experience. For example, a researcher might study how one child with autism adapts to a preschool environment. This provides valuable understanding that can help teachers and caregivers in the future.
So I will explain about probability sampling. So probability sampling is a sampling technique in which researchers choose samples from a larger population using a method based on the theory of probability. This sampling method considers every member of the population and forms samples based on a fixed process. There are four types of probability sampling techniques. Number one is simple random sampling. It's one of the best probability sampling techniques that helps in saving time and resources. It's the simple random sampling method. It is a reliable method of obtaining information where every single member of a population is chosen randomly, merely by chance. Each individually has the same probability of being chosen to be a part of a sample. Number two is cluster sampling. Cluster sampling is a method where the researchers divide the entire population into sections or clusters that represent a population. This makes it very simple for a survey creator to derive effective inference from the feedback. Number three is systematic sampling. Researchers use the systematic sampling method to choose the sample members of a population at regular intervals. It requires the selection of a starting point for the sample and sample size that can be repeated at regular intervals. This type of sampling method has a predefined range, and hence this sampling technique is the least time-consuming. The approach to select the sample is to pick a starting point and then pick respondent at a predefined sample interval. Type number 4 is stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling is a method in which the researcher divides the population into smaller groups that don't overlap but represent the entire population. While sampling, these groups can be organized and then draw a sample from each group separately. Method of dividing the respondent population into distinctive but predefined parameters in the research design phase. In this method, the respondents don't overlap, but collectively represent the whole population. In this probability sampling, there are three uses of probability sampling. Number one is reduce a sample bias. Using the probability sampling method, the bias in the sample derived from a population is negligible to non-existent. The selection of the sample mainly depicts the understanding and the inference of the researcher. Probability sampling leads to higher quality data collection as the sample appropriately represents the population. Uses of probability number two is diverse population. When the population is vast and diverse, it is essential to have adequate representation so that the data is not skewed towards one demographic. For example, if Square would like to understand the people that could make their point of sale devices, a survey conducted from a sample of people across the US from different industries and socio-economic backgrounds helps. So number three is create an accurate sample. Probability sampling help the researchers plan and create an accurate sample. This helps to obtain well-defined data. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sharifah Nur Aisyah Atirah binti Said Majidin. My number ID is AM240801635C. Today I am going to talk about no probability sampling. No probability sampling is a method when not everyone in the population has the same chance to be chosen. Usually, research use this method when it is difficult to select randomly or when they have limited time, budget, or access. In the method, participants are chosen based on convention, purpose, or recommendation. Okay, main feature. Let's look at some main feature of non-probability sampling. First, it is not random. Second, it is easy, fast, and low cost. It's very useful when the research has limited research. However, one main weakness is that the result cannot represent the whole population because not everyone has a chance to be included. Type of no-probability sampling. Okay, there are three common types of no-probability sampling. First, conventional sampling. 2, purposeful sampling. 3, snowball sampling. Now, let's go through them one by one. Okay, conventional sampling. First, conventional sampling. This means the research choose participants who are easy to reach or available at that time. It saves time and effort, but it may to respond everyone. For example, a research may select children from a nearby kindergarten because it is easy to access and get permission. It is simple and practical, but not very accurate for responding to whole group. 2. Purpose sampling. Here, the research purpose select participants who have specific characteristics that fit the purpose of the study. This helps to get more meaningful and detailed information. For example, the research might choose the teacher who have experience teaching children with autism or special needs. This method gives deeper insight into that specific group. 3. Type is snowball sampling. Okay, it is the method the research start with a few participants and the two specific recommend or other with similar character. This is very useful when studying small or hard-to-reach groups. For example, interview homeschooling parents and then those parent introduction of homeschooling family to join the study. The sample goes like a snowball, getting bigger step by step. Okay, next, advantage and disadvantage. Now, let's look at the advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is it is easy and quick to do. It is save time and money. It's useful for small scale or early research. Disadvantage is it does represent the whole population. It can have bias in the result. It had to generously the feeding.
My name is Siti Nuraisha binti Mahadi. My ID number is AM24080163666. Today, I would like to present about sample size consideration in ECE result. Determining an appropriate sample size is a crucial step in ensuring the accuracy and reliability of research results. In ECE, research sample size depends on several factors such as the total population, research design, resources, and statistical power. A large sample size generally provides more accurate and generalizable results. Experimental studies often require a bigger sample to detect measurable differences between groups, while descriptive or case studies may involve fewer participants. Other factors such as the diversity of children, their age range, and developmental differences must also be considered, as they can affect the validity of the findings. Additionally, practical constraints such as time, budget, and access to participants may influence the final decision on sample size. For instance, a study investigating language development among preschoolers may select 50 to 100 children from multiple early education centers to ensure diverse representation and reliable results. Thank you.